interested in fiber work, the Fresno Fiber Arts Guild welcomes your participation and invites you to become a member. Experience is not a membership requirement. A monthly newsletter is sent to all members. A guild library and current fiber interest books and videos are available for members also. We support and organize outreach programs at the Holy Cross Center for Women. We can be found on the web as well as Facebook.
The pants were cut from 2 rectangles, each sewn into a bias tube. The bias rectangle sizes were determined by a math formula. Hey, our math teachers were right. Some of us will actually use math in our lives. Who knew? The top is from an altered McCall's pattern with an added flounce around the neckline. The drapeable quality of this fabric, comfortable and soft, molds to the body's form rather than taking a stiff shape of its own. The result is a look of total elegance. Thank you, Joyce, for the festive outfit and the math lesson. Leslie Bonner is modeling a celery green felted wool coat. She used an Issei Miyake Vogue pattern. The color inspired a few of us to title the coat Mon Petit Shawl. With tenderness, it means my little cabbage. Leslie shared with us that the whole jersey fabric was felted through 3 cycles in the washer dryer. This enabled her to use the raw edges and shape the coat with various pieces seemingly to float on the surface of the fabric. If you've ever accidentally shrunken a sweater in wash, then you understand the felting process and know that Leslie began with twice as much fabric to end up with this soft, warm, and comfortable coat. The fabric-covered snap closures are hidden behind spectacular antique buttons. Underneath the coat, we see Leslie's spring green blouse and pants. The fitted top is elegantly pin-tucked on the neck, sides, and sleeves. She chose a woven plaid poly cotton fabric that she purchased at Mill End in Portland. The pattern is from a Butterick designer by Catherine Tilton. Leslie cleverly eliminated the pattern's collar, yet kept the collar stand. Her pants were copied from ready-to-wear and sewn in a high-tech stretched crepe matte hybrid fabric. These 3 pieces are a perfect mix of function and fashion. Thank you, Leslie. Sylvia Owens is showing us a casual coat she calls origami coat because it's just folded. Yes, she used a Japanese print cotton lined with rust-colored cotton. This folding technique creates lapels out of the lining material. She hand-stitched a toggle closure. Years ago, Sylvia learned how to make this simple, playful garment from Constance Howard, the talented English fiber artist with green hair. So Sylvia says, this is a coat influenced by ethnic clothing one could throw on and go. Ruth is modeling a flattering chic dress she made from a shawl. Yes, you heard that correctly. Ruth and her sister took a trip with a traveling group called Rhodes Scholar to China and Tibet. The trip was geared more toward intellectual pursuits than shopping, so Ruth was unable to shop for any silk. Fortunately, she purchased a large pashmina from a street vendor in Lhasa, Tibet, China. Ruth used almost every inch of it in this dress and even incorporated some of the fringe in the sash. This bright and beautiful dress is irresistibly soft. The name of the dress is Memories of Tibet. Ruth, by the way, learned to sew in the 8th grade in home economics class. She admitted that her French seam was used in class as an example of what not to do. She never forgot that. Ruth continued to sew in spite of that experience and has been sewing ever since. It looks like her skills have improved immensely. Thank you, Ruth. Hi again, Joyce. Do you remember those bias-cut pants that Joyce wore a few moments ago, the math lesson? Well, here they are again in a new fabric, a peacock print linen. The jacket was made from a pattern company called CNT. The pattern is called a little something jacket. It has no interfacings and no darts. Joyce found it to be very fast to make. The blouse was recycled from a big silk button front shirt. Joyce cut the collar from the shirt tail. The drop shoulders changed into a natural shoulder line and the buttons are now in the back. The ensemble is fluid, soft, and flattering. Golden peacocks. Thank you, Joyce. Todd is wearing a jacket with no sleeves that was inspired by this bold patterned silk fabric that she purchased a few years ago for a different project. The outside of the jacket is made from a black silk noil and the lining is silk broadcloth. This garment required complicated tailoring techniques specific for sewing with silk. Anne gained these skills from Guild guest artists, including Linda Wakefield, Sandra Betzina, and Katrina Walker. Anne's outfit displays a sophisticated color combination and elegant design. It's a wrap. Anne's grandmother was an inspiring sewer. When Anne was a youngster, she would sew doll clothes and then clothing for herself because she enjoyed having new clothes. Anne has always been sad that her grandmother passed away before knowing just how much Anne enjoys sewing. Thanks to you, Anne, for sharing your garment and the story of your inspirational grandmother. The girly biker. I'm out of order, sorry. Carolyn is modeling a black wool vest over a sheer dress. She calls it the girly biker. A magazine challenged its readers to change boring workwear into something more exciting. This garment began as a 1980s wool blazer that screamed office. Carolyn changed it into a vest with cool motorcycle styling by adding zippers and snaps. A 22-inch separating zipper snakes up the center front and follows the curve of the lapel. To give the garment some shaping at the waist, Carolyn sewed 5-inch zippers front and back while they were open. They look like V's when they're not zipped. Carolyn shared that at times, such as after Thanksgiving dinner, she can unzip one or two for more room in the waist. The backpack on the back allows for hands to be free when you're riding on your motorcycle. This garment appeared in the spring 2014 issue of Altered Couture magazine. Carolyn had intended to show the pin-dotted sheer dress emerging from the bottom of the vest. However, she discovered that the half-slip she had planned to wear underneath looked better as the skirt. Therefore, this is the way it's presented today on the runway. You might glimpse the dress peeking out a little at the hemline. Carolyn, the weekend awaits. Thank you. Flirty and fun. Here is Carol Porosnik modeling her flirty and fun outfit. Her top is a turquoise green with a broad print. Carolyn used sewing techniques she learned from Kathy Bruddy, who taught her how to make ready-to-wear clothing and turn it into her own pattern. Carol also took a pants draping class from Kathy Bruddy. There she created a pattern fitted to her own body. She then placed pockets in the pants and now enjoys the comfortable fit. This outfit reflects Carol's flirty and fun personal style with a dash of seasonal color. Carol learned to sew when she had her first baby. This daughter, Desiree, is modeling some of Carol's clothing here today. She later took sewing lessons from our very own guild member, Shirley Ann Barrow. As you may note, Carol enjoys sewing not only for herself, but also for her family. Thank you, Carol. Cleo is showing us a burgundy gray silk vest that was made from repurposed silk scarves. Cleo participated in a Sewing with Silk Guild workshop led by Katrina Walker. Cleo dug through her stash of silk fabrics and scarves, selecting 2 tie silk pieces for this vest. The back and front panels were a single 42-inch scarf. Cleo cleverly saved the signature of the artist to display on the lower right front panel. The side panels are 6-foot ombre coral to gray slub silk scarf shawl that she split vertically. The vest was assembled using a French or enclosed seam, a technique that she also teaches at the Holy Cross Center for Women Sewing Center, where she volunteers weekly. Cleo said she took a deep breath and washed the vest to soften the drape of the silks. She exhaled when no fading occurred. Doesn't this vest instantly brighten your mood? Thank you, Cleo. Carolyn is back again, I hope, quick change artist, with her new coat and little black dress. This short coat is from a very easy bow pattern. The 100% felted wool coating had been waiting in her stash for just this project. Carolyn has always liked the look of old-fashioned braid purses that click shut at the top and thought it would be fun to try purses used as pockets on the garment. Using metal purse frames from Joanne Fabrics, she first sewed the purses by hand in the machine and stitched them to the body of the coat. Making them balance was a bit of a challenge. So, Carolyn, do all of those pockets mean you don't need to carry a handbag? Or do you? Carolyn has no idea what the logo means, but liked the color to match her coat. She added wide lace from an old gypsy skirt to the sleeves and hem. You may notice that the black and gray lace relates to the meandering yarns felted into the coating. Carolyn translates her creative ideas into designs full of surprise. How's that for turning Ho-Hum into wow? Jacket and pants that she made from a sewing workshop pattern. She printed helpful directions on the pattern for her success. The jacket fabric design is sewn and purchased online from ella1sock.com. The jacket closure is managed by fabric-covered snaps on the inside. The enamel button on the outside is decorative only. The pants are copied from a ready-to-wear pair, and that fabric was purchased from Britex in San Francisco. Leslie's jewelry was made by Shauna D., her daughter. Leslie's investment of time on this California casual outfit was certainly worth it. The finished products, including color, pattern, and texture, reminded us of a Southwest sunset. Thank you, Leslie. Next up, we have models modeling their response to the Little Black Dress Challenge. Guild members were invited to make their interpretation of the ubiquitous little black dress. The interpretation could be made into a garment, an accessory, jewelry, artwork, altered book, etc. Members were invited to use any material and put their own twist on the item. The little black dress. It can be fanciful, practical, festive, or romantic. It can tell a story. However, these little black dresses are anything but ordinary. Carol was inspired by fabric inherited from her mother's stash. She wanted to create color blocking, and the striped fabric helped dictate how to accomplish this. It became a tricky feat of tailoring to match the stripes on the upper bodice to the side panels. She also carefully matched the stripes to create the upper bodice's self-fabric interlacing. Carol began with a basic dress pattern, added waistline pleats for contouring, and ends with a figure flattering sheath that is pleasing to the eye. Carol's mother and grandmother were both seamstresses. Carol took a sewing class in junior high and kept on sewing. Thank you, Carol, for this classic reading. Do we have any Downton Abbey fans here today? India Ivins has been captivated by the 1920s Art Nouveau clothing featured in the PBS series. She has completely remade, restyled, and altered this garment by using a rayon blend knit fabric that was once her favorite travel dress. The result is a travel back in time. Realizing the infinite possibilities of the new computerized sewing machines, India digitized her version of an Art Nouveau butterfly using her Benina Designer 6 software. This was embroidered on black tulle. Turquoise bobbin thread was chosen to make the design glow on the fabric. Bustline princess seams were reshaped, as were the armholes. The neckline was recut from round to the current V. The hemline was shortened, adding room for lace. To create her fascinator, India added feathers, ultra suede, and bling to a purchased padded headband. The long peacock feathers were a gift from a guild member friend who has peacocks for neighbors. For the evening bag, India digitized a long-inspired design on a handbag. The fabric was cross-stitched in purple, lime, and turquoise. Subtle black piping was sewn into the side seams. This bag was a gift to her fashionista mother, Edna Ivins, for Mother's Day last year. Edna is present today and should be so proud. Downton Done Right by Edna Ivins. What constitutes a little black dress, Laura the other pondered? It should be basic. It should be able to go from day to evening with a change of shoes and accessories. It should be able to be solemn or transformed into playful. With so many requirements on the shoulders of one dress, no wonder women spend endless hours looking for the perfect one. Laura began her search for a little black dress with fabric. Unable to find the right fabric, she turned to heavyweight men's cotton t-shirts. Yes, this outfit was made for 9 men's t-shirts. The skirt was inspired by Alabama Chan & Stitch Studio, a company which creates all of their garments by hand. The skirt was first stenciled with a mix of acrylic paints, the majority being jacquard, luminaire, and colored pewter. Then a solid layer of black fabric was placed underneath. You might want to go down again. Wow. All stencil designs were then outline stitched by hand with pearl cotton thread. The native space around the stencils were trimmed away to reveal a raw-edged, ruffled look. The skirt pattern is the original. Her top is a bow pattern by designer Catherine Tilton. All the accessories were crafted by Laura. Notice the black necklace that she twisted and knotted out of scraps of the t-shirt fabric. As a side note, if you were to purchase a similar outfit, including necklace from Alabama Stitch Studio, the cost would be approximately $1,700. Her niece is wearing black and white Parisian print pants and sleeveless top with a black cape. The 3.5 yards of printed fabric in this outfit were neatly folded on a counter at one of our guild meetings. A note on it read, "Free fabric." Bernie shared, and I quote, "Not being able to resist Morgan, the cute pattern of girlfriends, dogs, cats, and hot rods, I carry it around, hoping to a sleeveless version of a t-shirt pattern, and the bottoms are from her palazzo pants. It wasn't until Bernice finished cutting everything out that she reread the patterns and realized that this is a woven fabric and the patterns were designed for knits. To compensate for the lack of ease, Bernina scooped out the neck, added side panels to the top. The pants had a zipper instead of pull-on elastic waist, along with very narrow seams. The cape is made from a pashmina shawl, folded lengthwise, then split up one half. The front opening is trimmed with sequins and the sides were stitched partway to form sleeves. Bernice completed the embroidery in a class on how to use her new baby lock sewing machine. The red and black bias scarf is made from men's silk tie remnants purchased from a Robert Talbot store. Oh, and by the way, Bernice did eventually discover the benefactor of the fabric when she shared the outfit at a guild meeting. She's thankful to Laura Weaver, who is in charge of today's table decoration. Thank you. Carolyn Schlegel-Vada is modeling her boho jumper and travel black dress. She was inspired by Stella McCartney in the design of this outfit. Carolyn found the black fabric, which she calls material you can sleep in because it never wrinkles. She made the pattern by taking apart and copying a favorite old dress that fit well. Carolyn added trim to the sleeve so that she could have a button-on, button-off sleeve. This is a great travel garment that you can dress up or down. She was inspired to make the jumper after seeing a 1985 illustration. It is open to allow the black fabric to show through, which has a slimming effect on the body. The jumper can be worn on the front or the back of the dress. The garment is dark in color, but light and airy for summer and spring. Carolyn shares a quote from Coco Chanel. I quote, "One is never over or underdressed with a black dress." Carolyn talked to Bernice about her modeling this year by taking photos and video of today's event. However, her friend and co-model, Carolyn Soto, bribed her into it. Thank you, Carolyn. Our final little black dress is modeled by Carol Smith. She began this outfit with a basic black dress pattern and inserted lace between the front panels and around the square neckline and cap sleeves. Carol reshaped the neckline from round to square for added effect. The hat was inspired by a millinery workshop offered to the Guild this year. Carol was fortunate to find lace that closely matched the lace used in the dress. She found that attaching that lace to the hat was challenging because of the elliptical shape of the hat. Nicely done, Carol. Ebony and lace. Inspired or taught by generations of mothers, grandmothers, great-aunts, home economics teachers, 4-H leaders, and fellow fiber artists who have a willingness to experiment and sometimes to fail. Many times mistakes evolve into valuable learning tools to help the artist make choices that result in clothing with a point of view. As you can see from the work of these artists, there is a long journey from the selection of the fabric to the finished